Hello and welcome, my name is Softworker and this is my next tutorial where I'm gonna show you the top 10 tricks for beginners in FeedTheBeast Continuum. If you are a German viewer, you might want to watch the German version of this video and you can find a link to it. Just right above my head there should be an info card popping up where I can click on and then go to the German version. If you are completely new to modded Minecraft, first of all, let me say, you shouldn't play Continuum because Continuum is an expert pack and it's very difficult, it can be tedious and it can be very frustrating. In this tutorial I will not talk about the basics of modern Minecraft, so if you have never played modern Minecraft before, this tutorial might not be for you. This tutorial is specifically for FeedTheBeast Continuum. I will not talk about some vanilla tricks like strip mining or anything. I will talk about things that I think are of importance when you start with FeedTheBeast Continuum specifically. Before we start, just a small shout out to the FeedTheBeast subreddit, where I posted a thread and asked for help. I'm a member of this community for about 2 years now, and the people came together, gave me ideas, gave me tips, refined on ideas. It's an awesome community. I've included the link to the thread that I've created, and feel free to check it out. Feel free to read about the comments and also sub to this community because it's actually an amazing way to share your experience, ask questions, or simply get some tips and tricks. And just before we start, one thing that's not really a trick, it's just a simple reminder, is whatever you do in FeedTheBeast Continuum, always check the tutorials first, check the INI first, because you will find there what you need. Be aware of the basic keyboard commands with R in your inventory, or here you can get the recipe of a specific item. And also when you look at a recipe for an item, make sure to check for alternatives. I mean, this one here tells me I need some kind of enhanced Gargoyle metal which you can craft from this thing, so no. Also the next key is backspace, where you can navigate back one page so you don't have to click through the whole process again. But also, as I said, always look for alternatives. So we can see here that there's an alternative in EFab, which then is just 3 ingots. But before you want to craft anything, make sure to check NEI first, because the majority of the recipes I have seen have been changed, and also make sure to check the EFab, because that's the centerpiece of this mod pack. And with U, you can also check the recipes. So mouse over, press U, and you can see the recipes where the specific item is actually needed. My first tip is for something that you actually do with the very first thing in the game, is you run around, you get some wood, and then craft wooden tools, you get better tools and stuff like this. And my general tip is here, just don't. Just don't. First of all, wood is more rare than it is in other mods, because you get from one wood log you only get 2 planks, and from 2 planks you only get 2 sticks. You get 2 sticks out of one log. And on top of that, if you use a tool, it basically only has 1 health. You use it twice and it's broken. And that's about it. Same with the stone tool and stuff. And the biggest thing is you don't need those tools at all. It's not necessary to have them, because the first things, you can break the log with your fist, and you don't need cobblestone for tools. What you need for tools is flint. And first of all, you need the EFab, which you can craft like this, with the flint, with the wood, so no problem. And then you can craft the stone tools with flint. That's the major difference to other mod packs. So there is no need to harvest cobblestone, and you can harvest wood with your fist, so that's fine. Flint can be found in the world with some shovels. Also, you can save sticks for torches, for example, by using the normal cobblestone sticks. And you can craft flint in this mod pack with free gravel. And I also tell you, please don't, because there's a better way to do it. Once you have a decent shovel, or even if not, you can simply take the gravel in your offhand, take the shovel in the other hand, and then just simply hold both mouse buttons. Hold them, and that's it. And then you place and you smash, and every here and then, you will get a piece of flint out of it. Which of course I don't get right now, because, yeah, there it is, 1 flint. So yeah, that's an easy way to get flint, and you get way more flint than you would actually need for what you need for the tool. The string can be found from spiders. There are trees that grow cobwebs on them, or the easiest way is look for those flax seeds and off you go. Then craft the armory upgrade, put the armory upgrade in here, craft the tool, and there you go, and you would not need those tools at all. My second tip is for something that you will encounter very early in the game, which is you will need a lot more food and you will need a lot of diverse food. We have Spice of Life in this mod pack, which means if you eat the same thing over and over again, it will have reduced nutritional value. In this mod pack, it looks at the last 5 times that you have eaten something, and if all of them are the same, the nutrition value of this item is down to about 50%. The more you diverse, the better for you. So what you want to do is, first of all, and this is fairly standard though, is you want to get those bushes and have a different range of bushes already, which you can use then in the to make juice. You can make fruit salad out of it. Also, you want to look for those gardens from Pam's Harvestcraft and get the seeds and start the seeding process. But what I would highly recommend is get a chicken or twice, two, and put them on a hopper, blaze hopper in this case, because they're actually easier, but more for that later. And then you will have eggs, because eggs themselves are really good, because you can craft different things with just a few eggs. However, and that's the second tip, is cooking is usually very tedious with him. For me personally, I don't like to do all the things and remember all the recipes, but you don't have to. Very early in the pack you can craft the kitchen, which is also looking very neat and has some really fancy graphics. And when you go to the centerpiece, you then just simply checks the inventories, what's in there, and you can craft right away from here, from stuff here. For example, I can make some berry medleys, which is crafting, not now. But for example, I can make some fried eggs, which just uses the skillet and an egg, so I can have this fried egg now. You see also in the tooltip, we are talking about food groups here. So an egg is not really an egg. For example, this boiled egg is a food group snack. So right now, with just eggs, I have 2 different food groups that I can eat, for example. Then the scrambled eggs would be also a meat meal, for example. I could make it, combine it with the milk to get some cheese. So there are lots of different things that you can do. So therefore, eggs is highly recommended, but also make sure get some planting done and eating. But that's not the real tip here that I want to have, because I know it can be very tedious to eat all the different things, have the hotbar full, but you don't have to. In this mod pack, also very early, you can get the lunchbox over here, just with 4 pressure plates, weighted pressure plates, so stone ingots, iron ingots, and this lunchbox is pretty cool. You just open it with right click, put food in there. There we go. And then you shift right click, and then it's open in the inventory. And now it actually is a food source, which you can use, which if I wouldn't be full, and it also rotates the foods that are in there. So if I have everything filled up with food, with different foods, I will always eat different food. I don't have to worry about it. The only thing I have to worry about is filling this thing, and that's actually fairly easy. Let's say you have a fridge full of food that's ready to eat. Make sure you just rotate them a bit so that it's not all in the same spot. You open your lunchbox, you right click it, and your lunchbox is filled with items that have been in the fridge, and it always looks at the first spots only though. So make sure that you rotate a bit. Tip number 3 is about this nifty thing here, the workshop table. You might have seen it before, I haven't, and I really love it. It's fairly simple to craft. Just some cobblestone, the blank upgrade, and some wood planks. This one is done with diorite and some andesite or something like this. Some wood planks as well. And you can also craft a storage upgrade, which needs a copper box, a copper chest. But for the moment, I wouldn't recommend it. I'll show you in a second why that is. And what happens with the tool is the following. When you open it, it looks like this, so nothing can be done. But you go to the upgrade tab, and then you can put in furnace, crafting table, or chests. And also some upgrades, but at the moment there's just this one. So the mod is still in development. And once you have slotted those things in, it looks like this simply. So I now have 2 furnace, I have 1 chest, I have a crafting table, and the crafting table also has some inventory slots. The main downgrade with the crafting table here is not that it's slightly off-center, that's a different story. No, the problem is it doesn't work with any eye. So you might not want to do that. If you say, I'm crafting by hand anyway, or just use it for minor crafts that you are quicker by hand than searching in any eye, that's fine. But I know a lot of people saying, actually, it's useless without any eye. But they might fix it in the future, so keep an eye on it. However, even without a crafting table, this one is can be pretty cool, because let's say you have 4 chests in there. You suddenly have a lot of storage space. This is 24 slots, where one single chest has 27 slots. So this is almost 4 chests all together in one block. Or you say you put 4 furnaces in. And the cool thing here is, let's get some cobblestone. The cool thing here is that you don't waste any coal. It has a fuel value, which simply then goes into the furnace, and whenever there's room enough for a coal, it uses another coal. Let's say right now it's stuck, 1959, there we go, and 58, and it fills up. So you don't waste any coal at all, and that's really cool as well. Plus, you are smelting 4 times the speed. And here's tip number 4. It's always a problem if things are too small, and that's especially true for the Minecraft inventory. And to be honest, and you know it, it's always too small. But there is ways to make it a tiny bit bigger, and that's with using the iron backpacks. However, crafting those backpacks is a bit weird, so I'm gonna show you how you quickly do it. So first of all, you go to a village and find a merchant that gives you emeralds. So in this case, he wants coal. So you need 2 emeralds to just for the start. Oh, now he gets the coal. Whatever. Enjoy. Then you craft this market, which reuses one of your emeralds, some wool and some planks. And in this market, you buy a candleberry seed. There we go. Then you plant those candleberry, put some bone meal on it, and get more candleberries. And now we come to the part where it gets interesting, because now you can use those candleberries to make hardened wax, which you then can transform into hardened leather, which is this stuff over here. So hardened leather is simply some leather with pressed wax. And there you have everything you need for the basic backpack, and you can also upgrade to the iron backpack, to the second version with some iron. And this is what it looks like. Suddenly you have more than twice your inventory. Usually, you know, Iron Backpack was able to put your backpacks on your back and open from there. This is currently not working, and I would highly recommend you. It should be disabled. It shouldn't be working, but I would still recommend you in the controls to disable the hotkey for it, because there have been reports of people accidentally pressing the button, equipping the backpack, and losing the inventory of it. So make sure this one is disabled until it is fixed. And while you're at it and having this hardened leather anyway, craft a glider. Those gliders just need a bit more iron as well, and then you can fly around over the map, which is pretty cool and gives you lots of opportunity to explore. And now you have the space to take it with you anyway. And here we are already halfway through, and you're still here. Amazing. And this tip is about the EFab table, and yeah, I totally did not steal the name from the quest, because simply I had to take it. It's awesome. Anyway. This is something you might have in your world. You have the EFab table and gearboxes around, and some pipes in the back, and the tank on top to fluid pipes into it, and to make sure it works, just to make sure you get the maximum out of it, but you kind of run out of space for the gearboxes. Let me tell you, you don't actually need that monstrosity. It could also look something like this, which is still a monstrosity, but just to show of case. Because the EFab at whole is a multi-block. So everything you put together and touches any part of the EFab is connected to the EFab grid. For example, here you can see I have only the table which is connected to a tank, but still I have my 7.5 minutes of crafting speed. Oh, there we go. And also I could craft black quartz, which usually needs some lava piped into the EFab. So there we go. So even though it's still connected, it's only connected to a table, it has access to everything else. So that's really helpful in the beginning time. If you want to know more about EFab, Krakaens, if I spell that name correctly, if not, if I butchered your name, I'm totally sorry, has made a really in-depth tutorial about it. I have linked it as well in the description, so if you want to know more about EFab and everything it can do, please check out his tutorial, it's pretty good. And yeah, that's it. But for the beginners, you don't need to touch the table. It just needs to touch any other block, and you can totally hide the part somewhere in another room if you like. And my personal tip number 6, which is actually one of my favorites because this one has plagued me for a long time, or very long actually, which is how to pipe fluids around. You know that if you've played already, everything that could be potentially pipe fluids, any transfer hubs or anything, is gated behind the rolling machine, which is actually some kind of a coastly and some, I would say, almost mid-level game. It's at least a stage 3 of the EFab table. So what do you do until then? Well, the first thing that you can do is you can use those channels from Tinkers and the faucets. They work with almost everything that has a tank, not just the smeltery. For example, you could put a faucet on your coke oven and pipe out the creosote oil, if you like, for example. Or let's say I want to pipe in some lava or some molten iron into a basin. That's also working with those channels and with the faucet. So all you have to do is you just have to click at the end of anything to open the pipes to connect to each other. That's about it. And yeah, that's very fine. Another way to do it would be the pipette that you could do. Let me just do it like this. What this one can do is simply it allows you to take small liquids, small fluids, let's say less than a bucket, out of a machine and pipe it into something else. So now I have 100 millibuckets of seed oil in here, which I could then use to craft some hemp seeds. Another thing is, which is more like a bucket, those cells from Tech Reborn, I believe it is. For 4 tin, you get 16 cells, and those cells can be used to, let's say, first of all, they're stacked, which is pretty cool, and you can use them to fill up lava or to take lava, and they don't break like other cells used to. And that's a very handy, I would say, bucket 2.0. And tip number 7, to the nether. You want to go to the nether as quickly as possible because lots of things that I have seen are gated behind the nether, so the earlier you go there, the faster you can progress. For example, for blaze rods, for magnolium, for nether bricks, everything. So lots of the early game machines and recipes do require blaze or anything from the nether. So how to get there quickly? I think the easiest way would be with Tinkers. You start off usually with an iron pickaxe head from Tinkers, and this allows you to mine diamonds. Then you take the axe here, add a diamond, and then you can mine obsidian, which then allows you to craft the obsidian sharpening ingot, and then you apply this one with a flint. And the big thing here is you don't lose a modifier. So you increase the mining level to cobalt, but keep your modifiers. That's really, really, really nice. And then you can actually go and repair the tool with some iron again. So you don't need then anything else repaired. The alternative would be that you get night slime, which is seared stone, iron, and pink slime. So if you have a slime island flying around with pink slimes, or some way to get pink slime, you might want to go with that, because then you can save the modifier for the diamond, and it also has some nice effects on it, but that's personal taste. And then you can just go to the nether, mine ardite, mine magnolium, mine cobalt, and then craft better tools with that. And tip number 8, which is, I have to admit, I'm not sure if this one stays in the game as it is right now, because it might be circumventing the progress as it is intended. I know it was reported in the beta already as potentially exploit or potentially no progress. I'm not sure. For now it's still working. This is 1.0.2, so I'm gonna show you because I think that's really, really, really helpful, because at the moment there is no early ore doubling in the game. The first ore doubling you have is the hand crank, is the grindstone, which needs 3 empowered diamantine. So not early game. However, there is a way to get ore doubling in the beginning, which is you need some lava and you pour it over some regular wood, which then dries out and you get some lava wood. If you have followed the previous tip, you also have already some blazes, so you can make the lava wood into firewood. Then you make, let's say, a 2 rod out of it and apply the 2 rod to the pickaxe. Then the pickaxe becomes the auto smelt trait. See that? Ecological gaze, and it becomes auto smelt. Now, this only means it smelts items as it breaks it. However, if you now apply a bit of luck to it, and the cool thing is you can go up to the luck free without using more than one modifier. So regardless how much luck you put on it, you still only use one modifier total. Oh, I need more lapis apparently. Let me get more then. There we go. And there we go, luck free with only one modifier. There we go. And now, if we just mine some stuff with this pickaxe, it smelts the stuff, and you see there already. Also, it works with non-smeltable items, of course. But you can see I already get double, or yes, in sometimes double items. So here we go. So I have double gold, or just one diamond. I have 3 copper ingot here. Just 1 cobalt, but 2 ardite. So you see overall there should be at least or doubling. We have tested it with lots of iron, so a stack of iron, and we got 2 stacks plus 44, so more than double the ore. Also, if you mine cobblestone, you get stone. If you mine nether bricks, you get nether brick, you get nether bricks. And one fun thing is, if you mine seared bricks with it, you get cracked seared bricks, which you then can chisel again, which you then can chisel into seared bricks again. So you have effectively seared brick doubling, which can help you build a bigger smelter very, very quickly. Alternative, if you think this is cheaty and you don't want to do it, or you don't have the tool and don't want to use it, there's also a way to get seared bricks easily, which is smelting cobblestone. And if you do that, I would recommend you don't smelt the cobblestone alone, because usually you have a very small smelter in the beginning. Use the stone hammerhead. This allows you to smelt 8 cobblestone in 1 slot. And almost the second to last tip for today, which is regarding vein miner. You might have seen it in the context already that there is ore excavator. You have the ore excavation button. However, it doesn't seem to work, and I'm just going to explain you how it works in this pack, because it's slightly different. First of all, I'm really happy that we have it, because previous packs never really had vein mining or something, but in this pack it's there, and it's actually really awesome if you know how to use it. So you don't need to press any buttons. It's active permanently, and there's an option to change the shape. Don't do that. It can't shape mine. The only thing it can do is it can mine ores that are connected. And to get that, you have to craft those excavate modifier, which is kind of expensive, which is okay for me, because for what it does. You need 4 ender pearls and 1 manilium. Again, go to the nether and get some stuff out there. And that gives you 5 modifiers. Now you're asking, hey, why do we need 5? Well, that's simple, because it actually is a stackable effect. So let's say if I use 1 modifier, I have excavate 1. The problem here is that excavate 1 doesn't do really much. Let's say if I stay here, nothing really happens. If I stay here, see, it takes a bit more. The excavate, the number simply explains the range in which it can vein mine. So let's say if I stay a bit here, it should just mine the first area. Let's go a bit further. Come on. Come on. Okay, now I can see it. Let's go here. So there we go. And the more you have, the more excavate modifiers you have on it, the bigger the range. Let's just use some. Let's just use a few more, and then see how big we can go here. There we go. 32 maximum level. There we go. And now let's go over here. So I'm standing here, and there we go. Even on a longer range, it takes everything, so without any problems. The cool thing is it also takes it around the corners, like normal ore excavator would do. There we go. And it also works on some non-ores like clay. So you have all the clay that you need in one go. And here we are, the last tip that might be helpful. This is more a bit of advanced, but still kind of early game tip. Because you will need a lot of blazes, especially if you are going the usual progression way. You would like to have some hoppers, right? Well, hoppers are behind the metal press, because you need metal plates, and you can only make them there. So There are blaze hoppers which require 5 blaze rods for 1 hopper. So, and there's other stuff where you would need blazes. So there's one cool way, and this is not Continuum specific, but the need for blaze rods is kind of specific for Continuum. That's why I'm including it. So what you're gonna do is you take a drop of evil that you find in the fortress by slaying a wither. Then you find a blaze spawner, hit it with it, and you get a disturbed spawner that kind of spawns blazes now. I've set up a contraption here, a little spawner, which is 7 by 7 on the inside and 4 up. The spawner is 1 up in the air, and you can see in the end is also a hole. And there we go. There's the first blaze spawning, and the water will just push it towards me. Just make sure that you're gonna make sure nothing is burnable here, and also that you are hitting the monster, hitting the blaze and killing it. Otherwise, if it dies on the water, there will be no blaze rod. But that's a very easy spawner. Again, all you need is a drop of evil and the blaze spawner in the nether, and then you can build this one in the overworld and be safe with it. And those are my 10 tricks where I say those are awesome, good to know for the start. Stuff you might not even think about in the beginning, but once you have them, they actually, they make actually sense, and it's actually good to have them. If this video helped you, please leave a like, and also check the comment section, because I believe there might be some more tricks in there, because you guys are awesome. You guys know way more about Minecraft than I do, I think. So if you have more tricks that you say, hey, this is also neat to know, please leave it in the comments and I read it, and others can use them too as well. Or comment in the subreddit that I've linked below, just to make sure that we gather all the cool tips and tricks that are helpful to start easily in FeedTheBeast Continuum. And please also consider sharing this video to friends who are playing Continuum and might be a bit stuck, or might benefit from it as well. If you play Sky Factory or other modpacks, I have some other English tutorials, but my channel is mostly German because I'm doing German LPs and stuff. So therefore, I wouldn't ask you to sub, because you will see a lot of videos that you don't even ever watch. So therefore, feel free to watch my other videos over here on the side, if they're of interest for you, and if not, that's fine too. I hope this video helps you a lot, and I wish you a nice day. Bye bye.